Hey guys, welcome back. It's your girl P, and today we're going to be talking about creating a NiteFlirt account in 2025. So, if you're new here to my channel, I've been creating NiteFlirt videos for years now, and videos about all other sites in the spicy world. But I think it's time to go back and talk about NiteFlirt because there are some things like the feed and the packages and different things that they've added that I don't think we've had the chance to talk about on this channel. So let's just kind of go through it again, 2025 style. Okay, so the first thing that you're going to want to do when you create a NiteFlirt account, I think the biggest mistake that people have is signing up as a customer. So you want to go to NiteFlirt.com, scroll all the way to the bottom and click on Become a Flirt. And if you click on register, there should be a little button that says Become a Flirt. So you can still just click on Become a Flirt. Once you do that, you go through the process with your ID and all of that. And then you get to a point where you can create your first live listing. This is the part you want to stop and really think about who your character actually is. Is the character dominant? Is the character submissive? Is the character super niche down? Maybe you have some sort of sissy sanctuary, or you have, a sex educator profile, or you're a teacher of some sort, or whatever. Maybe it's like super duper niche down. You're the findom brat. Whatever your niche is. You need to think about those things because that is going to determine which listings you should choose. So let's talk about all the listings as a whole and when I would use them. Because I think sometimes I tell you, okay, pick these if you're dominant or pick these if you're submissive. But I don't think we've had the time just to go through and talk about each one of the listings. So you want to click on my account. You want to click on listings. And then you can either create a live listing or a recorded listing. We're going to be talking about live listings today. So let's get into it. Create a live listing. It's going to say adults only if you're women. It's going to say women if you're a man. It's going to say find men. And if you're trans, it's going to say find trans. This is based on what you are. So I'm a woman. It says that. So the first thing is women home alone. And I guess I'll have to go through this for the women, the man, and the trans separately. So let's start with women. All right. The first category that you see on the Women Home Alone starts with an S. You want to click that one and have that one because when the guys call the 1-800 number, whether you're dom, submissive, or niche down, you want to have this one because when the guys call the 1-800 number, this is the very first thing that they hear, and sometimes they don't click past it. So if you're not in there, they won't hear your voice. So everyone needs one in that. The second one starts with an O. If you click that one, you can target it as where you're the one performing, or you can market it as they're the one performing, depending on if you're dominant or submissive. Obviously, if you have a dominant profile, you would target it as them the one performing, right? And then we have mature. So mature, I would say, is its own unique little category. If your character is an older woman, then have mature. If you are in your 30s or your 40s, and I wouldn't go for mature yet, not for your first character. 50s plus, and that's who you want your character to be, or you're just younger and your character is over 50, then do that. But don't place yourself in the mature one unless you're really ready to be there. Okay. And then there is the one that starts with an A. I guess if you're a dominant or that's something you actually like to do and talk about, then you could do that. I personally never tried that one. Same thing with the S toys. I never did that, but I do have someone that is a S educator. So she has that one. BBW always performed really well for me. I never did Housewives. That was never my character. Race ones. If you're going to choose a race like Latina, Ebony, Asian, and show up in those categories, expect race play. So that's why I always shy away from them. And then there's phone with cam, which we'll skip because we'll do that another day. Fetish. Fetish femdom always targets the cucks. Fetish submissive women. If you are a sub, that's a good one to get into. Foot and shoe. Foot and shoe never performed well for me, and I don't know anybody that it actually performed well for. So, I don't know. You can try it out and see if it does good for you, but I just wouldn't let that be my main or only focus. Financial dom does well if you actually know how to do financial dom. Feminize and pair it with something else. So if you're gonna be a fendom, what are you? Are you the ass worship femdom, or that's your focus and you focus on guys I want to pay so much money just to worship that? Or do you want to be like, I like to play the like bratty girls, spoil me like type of fendom, where it's not so mean, but it's also kind of submissive and, I don't know, fun, because I can just get money out of them. Then there's feminization, which is for sissies. Smoking, I shy away from. Lingerie and stockings, great if you're targeting guys. I like to wear nylons and stuff. Leather and latex and spanking, never just really tried it. Okay, and then there is the BDSM mistress. Obviously, if you are dominant, submissive, if you are submissive. Ooh, y'all, I take my wig off. It's bothering my head. Okay. Extra kinky. I wouldn't do extra kinky unless you understand you're going to get those taboo callers. You're going to get the guys. Also, if that talk about really kinky things. If you are really niche down in that category, for instance, focus on a certain type of kink, like religious kink, then you'll pretty much get those kind of callers. But nonetheless, that's where they call fantasy. Fantasy role-playing was always one that was really, really fun for me. Other, y'all know I did other with the ignore. Girls Next Door, I think, is good for submissive lines. There's Kinky Wives. That kind of goes back to earlier. I don't play that kind of character. There's lesbian, bisexual. Never played around with it. And there's another extra kinky. Okay. And then there is others, couples, and Spanish. All right, so that sums up all the categories that as a woman you can choose from on NiteFlirt and kind of what I think about and where they should be placed. If you are really niche down, consider if your niche down character is more dominant or submissive and kind of go accordingly. If you guys need help actually coming up with your character and these listings and want to know how to title them and such, and how to create the pictures and different things for them, you can always hit us up for a consultation. You can go on over to mattressactressacademy.store. You'll find out all the information about our upcoming courses and like the course overview, everything that's included, testimonies, all that you can find over our site, and go ahead and sign up there. So I will see you guys later. Bye.